What is up, everyone? Welcome to another Northgard video on this channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far, and yeah, it's only gonna get better from now on. I'm coming to you with a little bit of a patch note review right here, because the Sword and Solace update for Northgard has released on Wednesday. And yeah, that were the update that were in the waiting for a little bit, like it were also playable in the open beta that you could have joined if you wanted so. And yeah, I'm gonna go over the changes here, which the new update brought to Northgard, which are quite numerous. And I come with a little bit of a recommendation here, because I just saw that Northgard is in quite a huge sale right here. I don't think it has ever been on such a huge sale. So you can grab the base version right now for $6.99, and most of the clans, like, I'm not here to do an advertisement or everything, but I've gotta say, like, that's a big recommend if you ever plan to get Northgard, or some of your friends plan to get Northgard. Like, I guess this is one of the lowest prices we will see in a long time. And yeah, definitely quite a good grab right here, gotta say. So let's not lose too much time here. Let's just jump straight into the video and see, yeah, what the new update changed about the game that we all love so much. So, hey Vikings. Sword and Solace addresses numerous aspects of the game with a particular focus on UI, multiplayer experience, military aspects of the game, and clan balancing. We would like to kick off this patch note by saying a big thank you on behalf of all of the Northgard team to those who took the time to take their part in our very first open beta. It were pretty nice. I hope they do this more often. Here's a quick introduction as to why we have some of the changes. First, UI. Northgard menus had some inconsistencies regarding the way information and choices were presented depending on the game modes. This prevented certain things such as, but not limited to, playing in extreme difficulty on the classic map, playing co-op with an AI in a single-player game mode and being able to search the existing lobbies while being in one, and the aim of this version of the UI to unify different options and elements of the game modes, thus adding new game options and providing the player with complementary information about those options. Okay, I can generally say the UI looks very nice of everything which I have seen so far, and yeah, that is already quite a lot. Multiplayer changes. Here are the first step towards what we hope will be a fairer system that will distribute players more evenly. We are now using the full scale of our GP system, which means that you will be able from 0 GP to over 1000 GP. And you no longer get stuck in your progression after hitting 400 GP. That were a big problem for players that went into the higher and higher ranks, that you just not get as much GP for winning a game anymore, so you get a little stuck right there. As we have previously stated, this is the first iteration of our new multiplayer and glory point system. Improving it further will take time, experimentation, and cooperation. So that's just normal, right? Military. Previously, strategic choices offered by the military path weren't all as viable from a competitive point of view. Thanks to player feedback, we decided to shuffle things around and give you the possibility to choose a military path much earlier in a game that best suits you or your clan's playstyle. We know that forging a weapon is a big investment, so we've decided to reduce the cost, allowing players to forge more than one weapon. We changed the weapons forge effects to almost all of the units, and they will gain ability now. Warriors are no longer the only cool kids on the block. Well, that's nice. And yeah, we're gonna read right now to find out a little bit more. Right here, we can already see the changes of the UI here. Really cool in before and after shot. This is only the main menu right here though, so there are also quite a few changes to like the lobby system, but I think we might still get in that while we get through the patch notes over here. So, more contextual information about the different game options and their impact on the game has been changed. So you have a little bit better overview right here. Right here in the menu, obviously, it's just basically, graphical overhaul, an optical overhaul, let's say. But there will also be changes in how you browse those menus. And I feel like the options that you have get a little bit clearer than before, where you basically just had different tabs that you were like picking up, and now you basically have symbols for everything, which can make everything clear as soon as you learned what the symbols mean. But I feel like also if you look the difficulties from easy to hard, you can, or learn from the icon, you can already see like, this must be harder, like there's a skull. So yeah, I think that's yeah, pretty good job on their part, definitely. So the profile. The player rank is now displayed in the main menu, and both profile and multiplayer rank can be accessed from this new entry display. And we have these new ornaments. I'm not 100% sure right now how you get those, but I can tell you they look extremely sick, and I can't wait to yeah, pimp out my profile a little bit with them. I would imagine that they have to do with the different clans, because they seem relatively clan themed. This looks like Raven, you know. This here obviously looks like Dragon with the both Dragonkin weapons right there. I don't even know how you call them. Is that Dragonkin swords or whatever? And yeah, horse, yeah, just looks like they would be bound to clans. So most likely when you have, yeah, if you reach a certain achievement with a clan, you might get those ornaments. Not 100% sure, but we're definitely gonna find out in the game, not all too long. So single player. We have the new custom mode that allows for more customization options, such as setting each AI difficulty level, so you can have one AI being a little bit stronger than the other ones, and co-op and or against AI clans. So yeah, a lot more options for you to play around in single player or co-op. And yeah, that were always a little bit off. It were possible before. You couldn't go for, I don't think you could get every AI their own skill level, but you needed to open up the multiplayer game, and now it's a lot easier through the single player mode. Or the single player menu, where you can open up those menus. Just makes it a lot easier for newer players to actually find those modes, and not like find a workaround, jumping into a multiplayer lobby, making it private so nobody else could join. You just invite your friend and then you try to set it up, and then you would have still a little bit of a problem with pauses, because you couldn't pause as long as you want. Basically, you could pause at as long as you want, but not as often as you wanted, because you got the normal limitations you had in multiplayer games that now changed up, and you can basically do what you want in your single player game. So multiplayer. It is now possible to check the list of existing lobbies after creating and joining one. You can now filter games based on all the settings of a multiplayer game. I guess not a lot needs to be said there. Really good. Yeah, really helps you out to just know what is going on when you're sitting in a lobby and nobody's jumping in. You can just check, okay, there's 5 other free games in my rank range. Maybe I just jump into one of these games, or maybe there's no other games and you're just needing to wait a little bit. Just gives you a little bit more of information. Really cool. So, the clan selection also changed. We have animated backgrounds for each of the different clans, more information about the unique aspects, and overview of each clan. Well, this right here is, of course, when you play single player, you can really see like the different, like the difficulty to learn, the development, the military, and support. I have already gone over those. There is like, with most of them, I'm pretty cool, you know? You would imagine that, oh, do they really know like which clan is how hard to play? I think they pretty much hit it on the head there. I feel like with Stack being really easy, yeah, makes sense. It's a clan that you can really get into. Maybe the Skrill, for example, might also be a little bit of the harder ones, but this is just like, yeah, you know, really changed up. I think in general they get a really good idea in which the clans are good, and you can kind of trust the numbers that are shown to you, especially when you're a new player. They will give you a great idea on what you getting into. And for example, telling you that the Dragon Clan and the Snake Clan are not the clans that you should generally pick up at the start, but rather maybe the Goat Clan, the Bear Clan, the Stag Clan. That makes it a little bit easier for you at the start. When you're in multiplayer, these informations will not be shown to you, but you will still have an animated background there, which just looks super cool and makes the game look a little bit nicer, right? You have a little bit more for the eye, even in multiplayer games. So, completed conquests can now... completed conquest clan icon now also indicates the highest level of difficulty at which the conquest has been completed. Yeah. So you can also see that right now. We also have other minor adjustments, the multiplayer and GP system. I think that is actually quite a huge change there for people that play a lot of multiplayer. A new tier has been added between gold and rimstone, and it is rimsteel, and it is gemstone. Yeah, a little bit of between rank there, also because we spread up the the GP range a little bit. Let's just go through the text here further. We have reworked how GP is calculated at the end of the game. All players will start at the new season with 300 GP. In the first 10 games, you will win or lose more GPs. This means you should reach a rank closer to your skill level faster. And at the end of future seasons, GP will be recalculated based on the player rank in the previous season. So, yeah, you can then also, I don't think you will completely drop down to 0 again. There will be another system, but we gotta wait until it actually comes out so we exactly know what will happen at the end of the season. So yeah, the ranges change also a little bit. Your wood now from 0 to 199, stone from 200 to 399, iron 400, 599, gold 600, 799, gemstone 8 to 999, and everything about 1k GP is rimsteel. We'll see how high the players can actually go. I would imagine they can go pretty high, but it's all, again, a little bit naturally controlled by how much GP we'll get from wins, especially in the later stages of the ranks right there. So you will now only be able to enter in the lobby if you are in the same GP range as the host. GP range is currently 150 GP difference. Family share accounts are no longer able to play ranked games. And as we previously stated, this is the first iteration of a new multiplayer and glory point system. Improving it further will take time, experimentation, and cooperation, as we said before. 150 GP is a little bit smaller than before, I can tell you. There were a lot of players that said, okay, I'm around iron, 300, so people around 150, that would have meant before you could have a gold player in there and you could have a wood player in there. If you go in the exact rounds. Right now, it is a lot smaller, right? Like if I play iron, I'm a 450 guy. Only players could join that are at 300, so basically in the higher stone, or at 600, which is barely gold. Barely gold. So yeah, the range changed a little bit. I think I'm also, completely read that wrong, right? 450 plus 150 is 600. No, it's okay. So yeah, somebody who's barely gold. Got a little bit stuff together there, and also just doesn't, like, also for newer players, it shouldn't happen that like a few wood players are sitting in the lobby and some gold or gemstone guy comes jumping in and they don't really know what that even means, just start the game. Things like that shouldn't really happen anymore. So no free GP for people that try to take advantage of newer players there, what I think is also pretty nice. So, military rework. We have new military paths here. We have the leadership path, the guardian path, and the legions path. It is still, leadership is a little bit more warchief focused. The guardian path is a little bit more defense focused. And legions is a little bit more unit focused. So you will buff this certain field of your military the most if you go for the certain path. Also, you will get your first level now at 50 military experience, which is basically at the start of the game, right? So, bodyguard, you will get a 50 military experience. Your warchief can recruit the bodyguard. This unit will taunt nearby enemies in order to protect your warchief. Your warchief produces military XP for each military unit in the same zone, and max. And the cooldown to recruit the bodyguard has been reduced to 3 months. The next one in the leadership path would be Armed Wing of the Clan at 500 military XP. Your warchief benefits from all weapons forged. The next thing would be First Line of Defense at 1.5k military XP. Your warchief gives a 10% defense bonus to all units in the zone. And the last one would be Rally at 300 military XP. Your warchief can use the Rally ability. Your military units gain 30% attack speed and movement speed bonus for 5 seconds. So maybe pretty good to hunt somebody or just generally in a fight. So next path would be the Guardian path. At 50 military XP, you will get access to a new building, the Watchtower. The watchtower scouts nearby zones and produces military XP. Their upkeep is less expensive than a defense tower. I couldn't really test out how strong they are, so if they are just as strong as normal towers, but I found it quite interesting not scouting areas around me, just building watchtower there. And that will slowly start out scouting out the areas. It's not like it makes pep and you see the areas as soon as the tower pops up. It will slowly scout them out like a scout, but in the end, you don't need to scout the zones then if you're planning to build a tower there anyway, which I think is pretty cool. Call to Arms. Call to Arms is a passive ability placed on your town hall. Every 6 months, the homeland sends you militias in order to help defend your territory. The militia is a defense military unit that cannot leave allied territory, and you can have a maximum of 4 militias in your territory. At 1.5k, you will get Suppressing Fire. That is, you get a free watchtower upgrade each year. Human units within a zone that contains an allied watchtower or defense tower get 10% defense. And each watchtower adds +1 to your maximum warband. Okay. And +2 if upgraded. That is pretty nice. So the towers will have multi-purpose there in the end. At 3k, you will get Hold the Line. So you can place spike walls in that zone that will damage when an enemy tries to engage. So you can basically delay an attack a little bit, because usually your opponents, they will just not engage the zone, right? When they see there are spikes, we're gonna get damage. You don't want to engage in Northgard anyway. That buys you a little bit of time, and this time can be really, really crucial. If you want to have a teammate like coming around helping you out, this can really make a big change here. So yeah, being happy on how this will how could you say it? I want to see how it actually works out in the game. That's what I want to say. Because it could be really strong. Really depends on how hard the damage actually is, how high the damage is. If it actually disincentivizes your opponent to actually enter the tower. But yeah, we're gonna see that right in game. Not all too long in the future, I hope. So last tree would be the Legions tree. At 50 military XP, your Warchief can recruit a bodyguard. Okay. That's sick. So you can also get a bodyguard on the Legion's tree. I didn't even know that. He doesn't get the taunt and everything, I think. I'm not too sure. When there's more than one military building in a zone, they produce military XP. And you reduce the cost of military buildings by 20%. So basically a little bit more unit focused, right? At 500 military XP, you will get War Effort. You reduce the base cost of military units by 25%. This does not affect cost per warband. Also a change I think we're still going to go over here throughout the patch notes. The Veteran you will get at 1500 military XP. Bonuses from upgraded military buildings are 50% more powerful, and they're actually the only way to actually buff your units right now. I think we're soon going to go over that, because Forge seems to be the next one. At 3k military XP, you will get the Call of Valhalla. In the battleground zones, your units have 30% attack power and attack speed bonus. Battleground zone, in a zone where 10 clan units die, the zone becomes a battleground. You have 10% bonus military XP. And obviously this bonus right here. Seems pretty good. Where 10 clan units die. So I think from any clan. So that can happen relatively quickly. And it doesn't mean that you first need to lose 10 units before this bonus applies. It just needs like to happen, and in big fights that happens pretty quickly. So if you watch out that new units don't die first, I feel like you can do a huge difference with the Call of Valhalla. So it seems to be a pretty strong tree if you can get to 3k military XP. Which ain't that easy, gotta say. Which ain't that easy. So we are at forging and the change to upgrades. So the upgrade of the upgrade for military units right now costs 50 crowns and 5 iron, formerly before 10 iron, and it also only takes half as long, so it's only 3 months to forge right now. Therefore, all the stats are removed from the forge, and now if you want to improve, you have to upgrade your camps. So that's the only way to upgrade the attack power of your units. they will only get their abilities right now when you upgrade them. For warriors, this ability is charge. You know this ability pretty good, I think. Increases the run speed when the engaged target unit is close enough and applies breached armor, so minus 10% less attack on less defense on the first hit. The shield bearers will get shield wall. When entering a zone with enemies, this unit will have a 40% defense bonus during 5 seconds. So baiting with shield bearers will get really important, and most likely also for most of the clans. You don't always need a bear to have a shield bearer. A lot more clans will now run around with shield bearers because you don't need to pay as much to forge them, of course. And there's also a change on the cost of units when you recruit them. So you would usually like to mix them up, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna get into that throughout the patch notes here. The trackers will get Feral Instinct. When trackers kill an enemy, they have a 20% chance, 50% against animals, to summon their spirit animal. Ah, okay. Interesting. Well, gotta see what the spirit animal is and how that really works out. Seems pretty cool. Let's see how it actually works out. And the X-Throwers will get double attack. The second attack of this unit is quicker. I feel like that usually looked like you don't need to think like it goes like 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So they usually attack like they have a second attack a little bit quicker, but let's say the third attack then has the usual time that it takes until you will be attacking again. Just as a little bit of an explanation. Might have looked a little bit stupid, sorry. But I figured were the easiest and best way to make everyone understand how it should work right now. Skirmisher, Dragonkin, Valkyrie, Shamans, and Mercenaries are unchanged, while obviously they will not get any stats bonuses anymore. They keep the poison, they keep the AoE, they keep the... what were the Valkyrie again? I think the Valkyrie could just kill herself and you could take over territory. Is that still what the Valkyrie does? I don't go as often for it, but it seems to be pretty wild. I think it might have also changed. Shamans do their, what were it again? Last stand or something? Like you lose, if a shaman dies, it will apply not really a dot to all the units around, but they will get a defense reduction. So they also have a little bit of, less of resistance, basically. So, and mercenaries, obviously, what you go for, you will go for. So, unit stats also have been changed a little bit. With the removal of stats from the weapon improvements, some units were at a disadvantage, such as the trackers and the X-Throwers, due to their range. So we adjusted them accordingly. X-Thrower range has been greatly increased, pretty cool. The range of trackers has been greatly increased and their attack has been increased by 15%. The bodyguards have a higher health pool by 10% actually. And shield bearers have a higher defense and projectile resistance by default right here. That's pretty cool. And here we are with the Humidity Recruitment cost. This has also changed and will most likely mix up the armies of Northgard and how players think about army. Before it were, okay, I want to go warriors. I put my money into my warrior upgrade and then I get 100% warriors. It's every single one you will see, it's a warrior. And if you got really, really creative, you went for a military strategy and you got 1 shield bearer and you got 1 axe thrower just to get the bonus, and that's it. You always fully focused on your units. With the change of unit recruitment cost, that it's changed a little bit. Rather than each unit costing +6 more for each military unit you already own, the cost increases by +6 for each military unit of the same type and only by +3 for each military unit of different types, allowing for a more diverse warband at reduced cost. And now let me think of an easy explanation for that. Let me say, you get your first warrior. The first warrior costs 30 gold. You get your second warrior. That warrior costs 36 gold. Yeah? +6. If I would get my third warrior right now, it would cost 42 gold for me. If I, however, would not get a third warrior, but I would get an X-Thrower, it would cost 36. No, 36. Yeah, 36 because I got the first warrior. Yeah. No, I have 2 warriors at this point. So 2 warriors. And the next X thrower would then also cost 36 for me. Because the X thrower has a base cost of 30. I have 2 warriors. But the cost for those warriors don't increase by +6 for each warrior, but they only increase by +3. So if I get this X thrower right now, the X thrower would cost 36 gold for me. If I would get a third warrior, that would cost 42 gold for me. So you can imagine, if you mix it out now a little bit, you will have a bigger army for less cost, and the upgrades are also a little bit cheaper. So I think that will definitely incentivize a lot of players to mix up their armies a little bit. I still need to get a little bit into it because I have played Northgard with single armies for years and years right now, but I feel like this will definitely change, and yeah, everyone will need to have to change their habits, and should also make fights a little bit interesting for everyone, right? Like the warrior guy, we're just like, okay, I run in and I try to get as much damage as possible. Maybe I focus on the X throwers. And the X thrower guy basically got most of the fun with microing, just trying to get his units away, juking the other units a little bit. So most of the micro were down to the player that had the X throwers, which I think there will be still clans like the Wolf clan, which greatly focus on their X throwers, but you will then also have a few warriors with which you can defend your X throwers a little bit. It should just make micro in general a little bit more interesting all over the board, and not only for the clans that have the cool units with which you can have fun, you know? So, we have a few clan changes still. The Horse clan got huge changes, how I heard. So Horse has to spawn... Horse was too spawn dependent and only had one playstyle, going for excavation and quality of life. Then full mid tree. Yeah, that's how it works. We tried to change this by giving the clan more flexibility and allowing for other playstyles. I think the old one is still generally working out, but you have other ways to play it right now. So you can already see the horse Warchiefs can now also build things, which makes a great change in the Horse clan's playability here. So starting bonuses were the villagers repair 30% faster, and right now it is Etia and Brok can build, repair, mine, and forge 20% faster. Etia, Aitra, I am so bad with her name, sorry, has an additional 30% bonus for builds and repairs, and Brok has an additional bonus for 30% bonus. My god, Brok has an additional 30% bonus for forges. So now the Warchiefs actually have a difference here, and it can actually make sense to go for one Warchief over another at the start, because you want to do certain things with it. Before, it were just completely unimportant, right? You could just close the eyes and just click on one, and it doesn't make a difference at all. Right now, you have actually something that comes down to your playstyle for which Warchief you want to go first. In the end, you want to get them both, of course, but gives you a little bit of an strategical choices, right? And isn't that what you want in a strategy game? I feel like it is. At 200 fame, you will not get an additional 10% production bonus on your tools anymore. Therefore, when in the same zone, Warchiefs mine and forge 50% faster, so you should always do everything together with them. That changes my playstyle a bit, honestly. Selling stone and iron earns you plus 20% crowns. Neutral factions will accept stone and iron, like all of them. And allies and neutral factions receive double resources. I think that will be 4 already like that. So at 500, you discover 2 stone and 2 iron deposits in your territory. You cannot build a second relic anymore, but zones adjacent to an active relic gain 50% production. So Horse still a little bit relic focused, which I think makes sense because you have your Warchiefs there, right? So, lore tree, Metacraft has been removed, quality of life replaces erudition, and Virulent Fire is a new lore that replaces mining efficiency. No, that weren't like that when I played Horse. When I played Horse, mining efficiency were replaced by excavation. Maybe that text here is still old. And Virulent's Fire replaced where'd the silo lore? I think it replaced eradication. That eradication? How's that called again? Damn. Like the silo lore. The second tier 1 silo lore. Am I dead? Maybe a little bit. But that were changed by Verlon's Fire. Verlon's Fire would basically give you a production bonus for your upgraded tools. And at mining efficiency, you would have erudition. Not erudition, my god. Excavation. So you basically get your low bonus from the very start. Made it a little bit more fluid. I don't know if I'm completely misremembering, if I played the wrong version, or if that were different here, but I'm pretty sure it were a little different when I played. Maybe just leave it down in the comments if I were right, or am I just tripping? I don't know. So, each Warchief mining stone or iron earns +4 lore that were before with, you know what I mean. Warchiefs produce 5 lore for each ore extracted. Yeah, that got changed now a little bit. So for each iron that you get, you will get 5 lore, and it is not a base production of +4 lore when your Warchiefs start mining. So that went a little down, I think, but you still get quite a good amount of lore out of, everything. And it will definitely help you with your lore production still pretty good. I like it, gotta say. So, forging a relic takes 50% less time. That's insane. Relics don't use a building slot, and here you get a second relic at Ancestral Influence, which is another lore. I can't quite tell you where it were again. Maybe it's written right here. It will be somewhere. But yeah, helps you a little bit out, and you get a second relic there, and 50% less time is actually pretty big, gotta say. So, we are at the Stack clan. We felt Stack was a bit underwhelming, so we tried to redefine its personality and give it some cool tools to play with, mostly based around fame and expansion, which makes sense. We have a new unit. You can get that unit with the relic, looks extremely sick, and is also stronger than a normal warrior. And the Warchief gets a few fame upgrades here with those really, really nice horns on his head. Makes him look very, very sick. Look at this sword, man. Holy moly. Okay. Fame. At 200, you will get supplies. Each 200 fame about brings you +50 food, wood, crowns, and +25 lore and stone. So, helps you out a little bit. Generally, same bonus as before. Just that before you were getting 200 fame, and then from this point on, every year at this point, you would get this bonus here. So, actually, a little bit of a nerf? Nah, I don't know, because you can reach 400 fame a lot quicker than 1 year passed after you reach 500 fame. So at the start it will actually help you. In free-for-alls and everything, it shouldn't help you that much, right? Because you're not gonna reach like 5,000 fame. So you're not gonna always get new deliveries there. So in a long, ultra late game, that doesn't help you as much. I feel like in normal team games, reaching 400 fame, like after you reach 200, 400 is not that far anymore with Stack if you're really booming out. So that bonus should actually help you out in team games a little more. So, Fame 500, you will get Dedication and Annexation. I think you will now get Annexation and were Dedication before. Before you got 10% bonus on all upgraded buildings. Now, for each 200 fame, the colonization price is decreased by 5%, and unit production is increased by 3%. So all of the units. Okay. And that means at 600 fame, you're basically at the same amount. Basically, right? It's 9% before you get 10%, but not only on upgraded buildings, but on all the ecos. So there's definitely a few changes right there. So yeah, quite interesting. I don't think 800 fame and higher, so that will definitely give you edge in free-for-alls again, but it's not something you can really bank on in team games, right? You cannot bank on getting 800 fame in a team game. It could happen, like I just wanted to say it won't happen. It can happen, but it's not as likely, you know? So, at 1000 fame, you will get Valorous Leader. That's new. Your Warchief gains the Valorous Leader ability. His base and defense also increases by 100%. And his health by 60%. Bruh! You will get a tank! What does Thorfinn do, man? We have the Stack Warchief. Yeah, that seems to be pretty strong. We'll see how it plays out in game, but that seems to be pretty fun here. While 1000 fame, not that easy to reach, right? More like a free-for-all thing, but therefore really fun. So food preservation got changed. You will for each silo you get +3 food. Yeah, you don't get happiness for silos anymore. That's quite a change. That means you will go for skulls a little bit more, definitely. So +3 and +5 food, that didn't change. You just don't get any happiness anymore. Which is a bummer, definitely a nerf, but yeah, just lets you get 2 skulls a little more. Young and Proud increases military units attack power for free for every positive happiness you have. And right now it's 2% per zone you control, up to a maximum of 30. So it's a lot easier to keep. The big problem where you get a big army, all your villagers are out, you are struggling on food and everything anyway, because you need to like feed the army you have out. And then you need to get skulls to get up to like 8 happiness. That would give you the max bonus of 25%. Now the bonus is a little bit higher, you get 5% more. And it is a lot easier to keep, while having 15 zones to get them to the maximum bonus is just unrealistic in a team game, right? Usually you will end up at 6, 7, 8 zones, maybe 6, 7, 8 zones. If you really boom it out, maybe 9 or 10. But yeah, that means it will be around 50, like 14 and 20%, let's say. It is the only like realistic range you are really in there. So yeah, you have it permanently, so you have it. It's a little bit weaker usually, but at least you always have it, you know? That can be already worth quite a bit. The Glory of the Clan increases the fame gains by 30%. Maybe it could be more important than 1000 fame and all the other bonuses get more realistic, but oftentimes it were a bit of a lore sink because you had so many other lores you want to go for, and Stack has a lore problem, you know? Because I don't want to go sailors usually. So increases the gains from trade routes and trade routes by 10% for each 200 fame. So it can get a lot higher than 20%, and definitely like 600 fame is something you can not easily reach, but you can definitely reach with the stack. But yeah, needs a little bit of greed. I think the easiest thing to count with, or yeah, do your math with, is basically 400 fame, because that is set. If you play stack in team game, you should reach 400 fame. Otherwise, what are you even doing? No. might happen, but generally 400 should be definitely possible. 600 also not impossible. It's very doable. So we have a new relic, the Hilfsgelf. You can now train Eintriar by assigning them to Hilfsgelf. Basically, you get a warrior, and afterwards you send him to the relic. You pay a little bit of an extra fee, you know, because nothing is free in life, but then they get a little bit stronger. Thing is, like, they have better base attack power, and they increase fame, and they benefit from warrior upgrades. Their power increases with fame, and they benefit from all warrior upgrades. They cost more crowns, because, yeah, you know what I mean. And they consume more food. That can get a big problem. So if you get a huge army of Eintrejar, you, yeah, will need to have a huge food production. So really watch out, because I don't think you can just easily get them back into villagers. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think it's possible like that. One time Eintrejar, you're not gonna get a farmer anymore, you know? So maybe I'm wrong there. We also have a change with the Dragon Clan, Draconic Frenzy. Bodyguard is no longer counted into the effect. That's great. We're a little bit annoying. And then you had Dragonkin recruitment price increases by 10 crowns for each Dragonkin you already own. So it's a lot less. So you should be having the easier time to get more Dragonkins. So, the Clan of the Lynx, win with the military path reworked. We just wanted to adjust the hunting path to give the clan a bit more versatility. So sharp eyes and the Great Hunt swap the positions, so Great Hunt is a lot easier to get. Nature Freedom has been removed, and Experienced Hunters replaces Nature Freedom. Experienced Hunters is military units that participated in the killing of a foe permanently gain +5 attack power to a max of 25. Yeah, basically a veteran system, let's say, right? If you have units that already killed other units, they will get a bonus, and that will stay there for long as the units, yeah, live. As soon as they die, it's gone. I feel like you could also then, like, I have an archer, and later on I get them into a villager, I get him back into an archer, he has never died. So I feel like you would still get this bonus. I'm not too sure though, but just, yeah, a little bit of theory craft, you know? So, the Clan of the Ox has Ferocious Charge changed. The Forge melee units can use the charge ability and gain 30% attack damage on a charge attack. Just on the first attack, I'm pretty sure. And weapons are forged 100% faster to forge and cost 50% less. And since they are costing less already, I feel like you pay like 3 iron, right? Because they usually didn't round down. Should be 2.5, right? But usually it worked like they would round up. So you would pay 3 iron for every upgrade. And it is 40 already. It is already double as fast. And it's now again double as fast for Ox. Yeah, I think you can upgrade quite a few weapons with the Clan of the Ox there. Pretty cool. Clan of the Bear. Shield Mastery. Shield Bearer's weapon is free. Ooh, nice. And increase the resistance of all military units by 5%. Big change though. Shield Bearer camps cost taxes again. Huge change, let me say. Oftentimes you would just go for Protector of the Land. So every tile that has a military building in there would get you 1 happiness. And you would just spam Shield Bearer camps in every single tile. And these Shield Bearer camps with the Shield Mastery not cost any upkeep. So they were pretty efficient and make the Bear Clan pretty scary even in early games. Like if you just had like 2 dogs, like 2 dog aggression in 801. Holy moly, like the Bear Clan could do a lot because you just don't need to pay taxes for your military buildings. And what more do you have in an 801 rush, you know? So that really used to help you out. Not that possible anymore. Let's see, I don't think the Bear will be doing as bad though. Like Hibernation is still going big, even though I don't know how to play it. So, Clan of the Scroll. We have the Banquet of Valhalla. The special victory of the Clan of the Scroll has been decorrelated from the fame. Now it must have at least 8 active cooks to prepare the meal, even during the preparation. The preparation time has been increased to 6 months. So it's in some ways it's easier to get, in other ways it's harder to get. Obviously, if it would be under 6 months, it is rough. And I feel like you could snatch one or another free-for-all win with that already, if you can get it up really easily, really early. We'll see. I'm definitely gonna try that out in a free-for-all. You can bet on that. So we are with the Clan of the Red, and this is the last of the clan changes right here. So overworking bonus is back to 40% production at the cost of their health, came from 30. We have Shamanic Care. Before it were, when healed by air, your units consume 50% less food. That were the 200 fame bonus, right? The 200 fame bonus. Now it is, while being healed, your units consume minus 30% food. So it's not the old playstyle, get all your village, get everyone onto your main tile, so they are on the same tile as your Warchief and have minus 50% production. Now you can actually use other tiles. That makes the rat gameplay a lot less like focused on your main tile, right? And yeah, opens up your playstyle a little bit. I feel like that were a huge change, and yeah, made rat, at least in the beta, where I played a few games, red felt a lot better than before, even though I liked the playstyle before, because I like easy playstyles which go into aggression really quickly. But I feel like for most of the players that weren't it, and I can imagine that also Shiro. Like, you have such a nice clan with such many unique different tags, and what do the players do? They just sit on the main tile, not build a single food building, and just yeah, exploit this little bonus here. Now it's a little changed. I feel like that's a really refreshing change there for the rat. The Purification Pyres. When clan units kill foes or die, all your shaman's camps pyre ignites, and now you only get plus 0.5 lore instead of 1 lore. Big game changer, I can tell you, big game changer. I think I didn't win a game on lore with rat, right? I did! I did win a free-for-all with lore with red. I actually did. With this bonus here, I just completely exploited that. I spammed shaman camps everywhere, and then it were just about overworking so often that a lot of your villagers die, so this bonus just always pops and you get lore. Yeah, pretty insane. Good that they nerfed it a little bit because lore is just so important in Northgard, and you were basically getting it for free, right? Because villager lives on red is aren't worth that much. Sorry to say it like that. So we have more general changes. Stats at the end of the game display more information. Stats. Yep, that's cool. That's cool. We have improved key bindings. Complex key combinations can be used, like Control Alt Shift 3. Finally! Yeah, make it more complex. Now it's super cool, right? It gives you more options. It gives you more options, so that can only be good. And I had problems in the very earlier times where I wanted to get a few of these, combined combinations, right? So if I press Q, I pick all my villagers, and I could just press Shift Q, and then I would only get my idle villagers. So pretty cool that you can get it in now, and extra mouse buttons can also be bound. That is huge. That is huge. That didn't work before, and I really want to use that, to be honest, because I have a few extra buttons that I don't use in Northgard, but I should. Building a training camp is no longer required to build other camps. That is a big change, and I can also tell you, if you play Lynx, really listen right now, because I made this mistake. I saw everyone who played Lynx the first time on the new beta will also make this mistake. So maybe if you listen now, you won't do it. You can now recruit your Warchief in other military camps except for clans Snake, Dragon, Horse, Ox, Clan, and Lynx. So, don't get a war camp at the start of the game with Lynx. You will need a tracker heart now, because you will get your Warchief and cats in there. The supply malus has been reworked. I don't know exactly how, but it seemed to have. And continuing conquests are now done via load game section. Okay, that's interesting. So over here we have a few more, a few more bug changes here, bug fixes. I don't know. Red Clan can no longer use houses? Okay, if I would take if I would have a house and I would give it over to the rat, I feel like the rat would have, yeah, that must have been it. You can transfer a zone with a tower on it. That didn't work before. Okay. Cooldown of Ancient Spirit is now correctly triggered. Killing wolves units with Mjolnir should not trigger sports of war. Oh, okay. I just see there's a new strategy in there. Thank you, Shiro. Hopefully I can still kill other units when I'm wolf and I get sports. Maybe they mean that. I don't know. Well, don't want to go too much over the bug fixes here. You can go over them if you're interested in them. Usually always small little bugs here that they go over and change. Yeah, I don't think it's too important to talk too much about that. We have a few known issues here that I still want to say. For example, current saves games aren't compatible. They're still working on that. I'm imagining that it will come at some point, so don't worry. Not all your saves will be ripped. Hopefully. I'm one of the players, I still have my save game of my very first game of Northgard, and I sometimes still like to go in there and watch it and say like, haha, oh, what an idiot. But, yeah, pretty cool that, yeah, you were able to still do that. I hope that it will be able to, yeah, do that again, and not all the save files. It will be lost. So, with that, we are on the end of these pretty long patch notes. Just for the record, the whole update right here is free, so you don't need to pay anything for that. Like, only thing you need to pay for in Northgard is usually new DLC clans. So if you own the base version of Northgard, you will be able to check out all these changes right now. And like I said, $6.99 for Northgard right now. That's an insane price, and yeah. Like I said, I'm not here to advertise here, like I'm not being paid to advertise anything here. But if you have people that still want to get Northgard and they always were like, $30, like $27.99, maybe not, and $6.99, man, you can't go wrong with that. Just trust me. I feel like if you enjoy the game generally, like if you feel you could have a good time with this game, with $6.99 you can't do wrong a lot here. So, we're almost at the 50-minute mark here, so yeah, I guess we should wrap it up here. I hope you had a great patch note review here. I hope you enjoy the update of Northgard and yeah, the new ranking system. Just write down in the comments if there are some things you feel about this, about this patch here. If there are things you don't like, if there are things that you really like, maybe there are things that you have been waiting for a long time. Just leave them down below in the comments. I will try to get to them as soon as I can and as much as I can. Thanks for all the support on the channel here, by the way. In the last months, it has really been staggering. Like, yeah, thanks a lot for all the likes and subs over here. Much appreciated. I hope you all have a great rest of the day and maybe see you back on the next video. Bye-bye. See ya.